I will point out that right now this committee knows absolutely nothing about the personal compensation Chuck Hagel received in 2008, in 2009, or 2010. We do not know, for example, if he received compensation for giving paid speeches at extreme or radical groups. It may be that he spoke at radical or extreme groups or anti-Israel groups and accepted financial compensation. We don't know. I don't know if Mr. Hagel has received funds directly or indirectly from foreign sources, from extreme sources, but his refusal to provide disclosure, I think, is highly troubling, and I would suggest every member of this committee and every member of this body should stand together in at least insisting on adequate disclosure. There were 7 private funds that had paid him substantial sums of money that 25 senators asked him about, and he responded. And the question was, of those private funds that have paid you hundreds of thousands of dollars, did they receive foreign funds? He responded that for 6 of those funds, he could make the representation that the substantial fees he was paid did not directly derive from foreign sources. But for the 7th of those funds, a fund called Corsair Capital, which paid him $200,000 in the 2 years we know about, and for all we know, substantially more in the years in which he has not responded to the question, he said he could not even make that representation. He could not even say that the $200,000 he received did not come directly from a foreign government. And the question this committee asked, have you been paid directly by a foreign government, I would suggest it is every bit as relevant to know if that $200,000 that he's disclosed came from a foreign government. Now, it may be perfectly appropriate. We might conclude that it was benign, it was reasonable, but it is at a minimum relevant to know if that $200,000 that he deposited in his bank account came directly from Saudi Arabia, came directly from North Korea. Now, I have no evidence to suggest that it is or isn't, but his statement was that he could not even tell this committee that $200,000 did not come directly from a foreign government. I would suggest that it is evidence that at a minimum would suggest further inquiry is justified.
Senator Cruz, you're free to vote against this nominee for any reason you choose, including that he's not responded to questions which you have asked beyond the questions that this committee asks.